My husband went to the airport to pick up his first love, the one who got away. Coincidentally, my boyfriend was flying back into the country that very same day. His first love clung to his arm with a dreamy smile. She said, "It is your 7th anniversary. Won't your wife be upset that you are here with me?" Damien laughed softly, all doting affection. He started to say, "Silly, she does not even can." Then he froze. His gaze snapped forward. At me. I was walking toward them with a handsome man beside me. My other hand held a little girl who swung our arms playfully. She looked up at me and chirped, "Mommy, will you eat dinner with Daddy and me tonight?" I smiled brightly. "Of course I will." Damien looked like he swallowed a live grenade. Inside my head, the system began screeching. "Host, this is a redemption arc romance. What are you doing?" Me, calm as a cat knocking things off shelves, said, "What? A husband redemption arc still counts, right?" Damien marched over and grabbed my arm so hard his fingers trembled. "Genevieve, who is this man?" I felt no shame about being caught in the most dramatic situation possible. Honestly, the thrill was energizing. I shook his grip off with enough strength to make him stumble. System. "Girl, where did you get that upper body strength?" I lifted my chin. "He is just a friend who flew back today." Then I pointed right at Sarah. "And you, why are you here? Following me? Or meeting your mistress?" I made sure the word mistress echoed loud enough to get the attention of half the terminal. People looked over. Sarah's face turned the color of overripe tomatoes. She tugged Damien's sleeve, silently begging him to stand up for her. He did not. He was too busy looking betrayed, panicked, and furious. He jabbed a shaking finger toward the child. "And her? Why did she call you mommy?" I pulled Mia close. "Her mother passed away giving birth. I feel bad for her, so I act as a mother figure. Do you really want me to explain this in front of a child?" I sighed dramatically. "Damien, I did not realize you were this insensitive." He barked out a bitter laugh. "I am insensitive? It is our 7th anniversary. You are out with another man, letting his kid call you mommy, and I am the insensitive one?" Julian stepped forward politely. He looked at Damien, then at me. "I am sorry. I did not mean to cause trouble. Maybe I should take Mia and leave. Your husband seems, well, intense. You should probably calm him down so he does not misunderstand." "Excuse me? A quality man with manners and a gentle voice?" "Yes, please." I grabbed Julian's hand and held Mia's tightly. "Ignore him. Let us go get dinner." We walked away together, leaving Damien standing behind us with red eyes and a face full of regret and shock. In my real life, I was a nurse who ended up working as a nanny, tired, underpaid, and chronically stressed. One day I commented on a TikTok video, "When is it my turn to call someone daddy and get free money?" A few hours later, I woke up inside a melodramatic redemption arc novel. Suddenly, I had a husband. Suddenly, I had money. Sounds great on paper. Except this book was a father and son redemption story. The original Genevieve supported her husband when he was broke, delivered their child through a painful surgery, and dedicated herself to their family. Damien and their son, Leo, still worship Sarah, the old flame. Damien stayed out with Sarah night after night. Leo screamed that he wanted Sarah to be his real mother. Eventually, the original host could not take it anymore and moved abroad. Only then did the two men realize how much they relied on her. That was the crematorium arc, meaning they burned with regret while chasing her for forgiveness. System. The crematorium tag means you suffer first, not that you throw the male lead into an actual furnace. I scoffed. In my opinion, a husband redemption arc simply means torturing him until he begs. Sit back and enjoy the masterclass. I spent the entire evening with Julian and Mia. Dinner, bowling, an amusement park, even a late movie. It was exhausting but worth it. By the time I got home, it was very late. Leo, my ungrateful child in this world, was sprinting around with a water gun. Pew pew pew. When he saw me, he aimed right at my face and fired. In the original plot, this little brat treated his mother like background furniture. Sarah was his favorite because she let him eat junk and run wild. My eye stung. I inhaled sharply, ready to discipline him, when a syrupy voice interrupted. "Leo, come here, be careful. The bad person might hit you." He ran straight into Sarah's arms. She looked at me with smug triumph while pretending to scold him. "Leo, do not spray strangers. Mommy and Daddy will be upset." "Strangers? Mommy, Daddy." She was wearing my silk nightgown. The limited edition one my best friend bought me. She was in my house, wearing my clothes, mothering my child, probably sleeping in my bed. And she acted like she owned the place. I picked up a pitcher of fruit tea and poured it directly over her head. The mixture of tea and berries soaked her hair and streaked down her perfectly done face. She shrieked. Genevieve, are you insane? I placed the pitcher down calmly, crossed my arms, and watched her hop around.
What is the problem? I said.
My clothes were dirty. I am just washing them. She shook with fury. Leo, seeing her cry, lifted his water gun toward me again. Do not bully Sister Sarah. I snatched the toy from his hand, flipped it, and smacked him right on the mouth with a heavy handle. Kids bruise easily. His lips split instantly. Blood welled up. He howled.
What?
Bad mommy. I am telling Daddy to hit you. What on earth is happening down here? Damien stormed down the spiral staircase, fury radiating from him. Sarah instantly wilted, folding into the kind of delicate, rain-soaked flower you see in bad soap operas. Damien, you're finally here. I don't know why, but the moment Sister showed up, she hit Leo with the toy gun, she whined. I tried to stop her, and she dumped water on me, a professional sob, subtle and calculated. Damien opened his mouth to shout, but I got there first.
Damien.
Seriously, what kind of father are you? He froze. Hands on my hips, I gestured at the chaos around us. Look at your son. Other 7-year-olds are learning languages and coding, and your kid? He assaults people with toys. Without Sarah's so-called guidance, he'd be completely useless. I sighed, the picture of world-weary despair. Boys are a bad investment. Look at Mia, so polite, so clever. Sarah choked on her fake tears, powerless now that my attention was elsewhere. Damien blinked, stunned. You think I'm a bad father? He whipped out his phone and scrolled furiously. You spent the whole day playing house with some man and his kid. Did you even think about your son, alone at home without a mother? I raised an eyebrow. You tracked me? A tear slipped down his cheek. I didn't track you. Your little boyfriend sent these photos to rile me up. Cut him off. Come back to your family, he pleaded. In the original novel, Sarah was the provocateur, sending daily reminders of her influence. Now, the roles had flipped, and Damien was crumbling. I said icily, dirty minds always see dirty things. He's just a friend. I was welcoming him back. Stop being disgusting. I'm moving out for a few days. Your tantrums are exhausting. Damien slammed a vase in fury.
Fine. Go.
But if you leave, don't ever come back. Unlimited money. Zero obligations to husband or child. Endless shopping sprees and spa days. Life was bliss. Then Mia appeared, clutching her stuffed bunny. Andy, Jen, can you come to my parent-teacher conference the day after tomorrow? Other kids have moms. I want a mom too. I'll give you my favorite bunny. My heart melted. Negotiation skills on point. Far better than those 2 freeloaders at home. I almost agreed, then realized a problem. Mia and Leo were in the same class. Usually, I handled Leo's school stuff too. Damien never cared. If I didn't attend, no one would. But I was orchestrating a father-son crematorium arc. Did I care? Of course, Mia. Auntie will attend all your conferences from now on. Leo loved to torment me at school events. Wrong seat numbers, glue on chairs, loud declarations that he didn't want the nanny, but his real mom. Now I didn't have to deal with that little terror. Through the classroom window, I saw Mia, waving sweetly. Then my eyes nearly bled. Leo sat on Sarah's lap, a comic book in hand. Sarah snapped selfies of their mother-son bonding for Damien. Is Leo usually naughty? He's so well-behaved with me. Sarah cooed. Maybe he takes after you, Damien. He just likes me better. She ignored the judgmental stares of other parents. Then she spotted me. Oh. Sister, why are you here? Didn't Damien tell you? You don't need to come. Leo prefers me. I stared at her like she'd lost her mind. Did I say I came for Leo? She tilted her head, pitying me. Sister, I know it hurts that your own son rejects you, but you don't have to lie. Mia ran up, grabbing my hand. Mommy, my seat is up front. Sarah froze. Leo, like a tiny bull, charged and slammed into Mia. You stole my mommy. I blocked him, but Mia still fell, twisting her ankle. Tears welled up. That was it. I grabbed Leo by the collar, yanked down his pants, and spanked him. Hard. Smack. 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 Bright red handprints bloomed across his backside. He screamed and kicked. Let me go. Bad mommy. Let me go. The louder he cried, the harder I hit. By the time Damien arrived, I was just getting started. Sarah saw Damien approaching and immediately grabbed my hand, smacking herself in the face.
Slap.
She cried out and collapsed to the floor. Damien rushed over. Don't blame sister. She's just mad I'm here. But hitting me is one thing. How could she hit Leo? He's just a child. Damien's fury darkened his expression. Genevieve, Sarah has been taking care of our son while you were out enjoying yourself. And you dare strike them? Do you think I won't deal with you? In the original story, the heroine would suffer silently, trapped by circumstance. Cameras rarely captured her defense. I, however, had proof. I pointed at Leo, tears in my eyes, feigning heartbreak. He glared at me, sobbing. Zero sympathy for me, he made his choice.
Leo.
Apologized to Auntie Sarah this instant. Both Leo and Sarah froze, confused by my sudden authority. You knocked her down. She was being kind and blamed me to protect you. But you're a boy. Take responsibility. Just because Daddy wants Auntie Sarah as your stepmom doesn't mean you can push her around. Other parents gasped. How generous, they whispered. Damien and Sarah flushed. Sarah tried to speak, but I smacked Leo's bottom again. What did I teach you? Admit your mistakes. Apologize or no going home tonight. Mommy and Daddy don't want a bad boy. Only the wrongly accused understand true despair. Leo threw his head back and wailed. I didn't do it. She fell. She fell on purpose. Leo's shrieks echoed through the classroom like a fire alarm. Sarah stood off to the side, stiff and embarrassed. Damien turned to her. What happened? She lowered her head. Maybe when Genevieve was disciplining the child, I tried to intervene and got caught in the middle. I see. Let's not dwell on it, he muttered. I pretended not to hear the nonsense and crouched beside Mia. Sweetheart, does it hurt?
Can you walk?
I can, she whispered. My heart softened immediately. I was ready to carry her out when Damien stepped in front of me. He planted himself there like a wall. Look at your son crying his lungs out, and you are fussing over her? Tell me the truth. Is that man's kid actually yours? I stared at him flatly. Is something wrong with your mind? Your son pushed her. I am fixing his mess. And since Sarah is so obsessed with Leo, maybe he's your and her little side project? Damien went purple. I looked Leo over with irritation. He looks more like you every day. It is honestly tiring. Damien's eye twitched. Get out. I never want to see you near my son again. Perfect. I scooped up Mia and walked out before he could breathe another word. Damien did not need to work himself into a jealous frenzy. Mia was not Julian's biological child. She was his late brother's daughter. After the accident, he stepped in and raised her as his own. When Julian and I began our little relationship experiment, he confessed everything. He even told me that if I felt uncomfortable with Mia, we could end things right there. Uncomfortable about what exactly? I was a married woman, and he was happy being the side attraction. Why would I hesitate over a kid? Besides, when he explained everything with those teary, noble eyes, looking like a tragic prince in a soap opera. Let's just say I rewarded his honesty generously that night. After the school disaster, the three of us hopped over to Italy. Breakfast was pistachio pastries, lunch was roasted chestnuts, evenings were spent sipping wine in tiny street bars. I was having such a blissful time, I forgot I lived inside a novel. Until the phone call. My father had been in a car accident. Heart trauma. Needed surgery as soon as possible. I caught the next flight home. I scheduled the best cardiac surgeon in the city for the following afternoon, but something felt off. My father barely left the house. How did he end up getting hit? I cornered the system. After enough pressure, it cracked. It was a plot device. Sarah was supposed to have sudden chest pains. Damien, in a panic, would demand the top surgeon for her. That surgeon was the very same one I booked. My father would then get sent to a lesser doctor. The surgery would fail.
He would die.
The original heroine would then fall into despair and leave the story. Not happening on my watch. I warned the system. If anything happens to my family, I am picking up a machete and turning this romance novel into a crime documentary. System. Understood. Adjustments made. I sat beside my father's hospital bed, peeling an apple. Somewhere down the corridor, a woman cried out dramatically while a man comforted her. Then the door to my father's suite flew open. Damien marched in, dragging Sarah, who was leaning weakly against him like a fainting goat. Genevieve. Sarah is having chest tightness. Tell the doctor to check her first. Your dad can wait. I stared at him in disbelief. I always knew male leads had questionable intelligence, but I did not realize they could be vicious too. I walked right up to him and slapped him. Hard. See a doctor? If her chest feels tight, tell her to knock it against the wall. Perhaps that will loosen something. Sarah gasped and gently held his cheek like she was the heroine of a tragedy. Forget it, Damien. I am used to the pain. Let Uncle have the surgery. Damien shot me a look full of contempt. Look at her. She is so kind. Why can't you be a decent person like her? Your dad probably is not even that serious. You just hate that Sarah needs help.
Move.
Your father is not worth Sarah's fingertip. At that moment, a nurse sprinted over with a CT report. Why has the patient not been taken to surgery yet? Damien did not know the system rewrote the plot. My father was fine. He only needed monitoring. The one who actually required emergency surgery for severe epidural hematoma? Damien. Still clueless, he pulled Sarah forward. Nurse, take us to Dr. Yuan. My girlfriend needs immediate treatment. The nurse stared at him like he was speaking nonsense. Are you Damien Duan? Because if you are, you need to sit down. You and your girlfriend were checked earlier. She is completely fine. You are the one with a significant brain bleed. It is critical. Only Dr. Liang can operate. What? Damien grabbed the report, trembling. No, this is wrong. This cannot be. Suddenly, Sarah's imaginary chest pain vanished from his mind. He barked at the staff, then schedule the surgery now. The nurse hesitated. Dr. Liang is available, but he said. Her eyes slid to me. I lifted my phone. Julian? Your migraine acting up again? Dr. Liang is ready for you. Head straight in. I hung up and grinned at Damien.
Oops.
Dr. Liang is a family friend. Julian's had headaches lately, so I asked him to check him out. You're okay with that, right? Damien went pale, leaning against the wall. I'm your husband, and you're using your connections for him? Don't you care about me at all? He just has a headache. I need brain surgery. Is he more important than me? Sarah swooped in, saccharine as ever. Sister, if it were me, I'd die protecting Damien. I tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. Let him operate. He'll survive the anger. He's not even worth Julian's little toe. They froze. I shook my head with mock concern. Actually, Damien, you aren't really that sick, are you? You're lying. You're just jealous I'm helping Julian. Manipulative much? I asked, smirking. Let's see if you can survive without Dr. Liang. I flipped my hair and walked away. Damien tried to grab me. I shrugged him off. He tried again. I shrugged again. Finally, he collapsed dramatically. Genevieve, I will never love you again. Never. Of course, I never actually sent Julian to Dr. Liang. Busy man, no point wasting his time. Julian, fully embracing his green tea male lead persona, texted Damien. Bro, are you okay? Can't believe Genevieve is so biased. I mentioned a headache and she prioritized me over your surgery. Don't worry, she doesn't want you dead. She just likes me more. We'll discuss this after dinner. I heard Damien smash his phone somewhere in the distance. I laughed so hard I almost choked on the grapes Julian was feeding me. System, I asked, is he ready to divorce me yet? This should have been the turning point. Divorce papers in hand. Fake tears, mission complete. I could stay or walk away. The system sighed. He didn't prepare divorce papers. He prepared a candlelit dinner. He loves you even more now. Me? Impossible. Definitely poison in the steak. Damien explained he missed our anniversary because of Sarah and wanted to make it up to me. Classic. He presented a sapphire necklace, a family heirloom. Even I had to admire it. As the cold gemstones touched my skin, I wondered, do I even need to finish the plot? Husband and boyfriend? Best of both worlds. Then Damien hugged me from behind. I knew you still loved me. You were just jealous before, right? Look, you're Mrs. Duan. Can't you tolerate a few flings? Cut off the other man, and I'll forgive you. Oh, and from now on, it's just you and Sarah. I owe her. Been with me since she was 19. No one else. Happy. I wanted to applaud his nerve. I had tried to be a villain, but men are born with talent for it. Mrs. Duan?
Please.
I want to be CEO Zhang. Everyone toasting me. Damien had heritage, charm, but zero business sense. His company was hemorrhaging money. His last hope, a $1 billion, high-end smart home system project. Mortgaged his office building to fund it. My goal? Crush that last hope. On bidding day, I wore a black suit. Julian and my secretary flanked me. Damien froze. What are you doing here? Then he saw my badge. Bidder representative. Are you insane? You're bidding? Humiliating the family? He didn't know I used his resources to launch a tech fund and hired Julian's team to develop the system. Sarah, acting as his secretary, sneered. Sister, curious? I can explain later. Housewives shouldn't be here. Embarrassing. I ignored them and walked on. Bidding began. Damien presented first, slick and confident. Hardware specs, glossy slides. Applause. Sarah gaped like he was a god. As he passed me, he whispered, Stop this, Genevieve. Go home. Embarrass me, and I'll divorce you. I stared like he was an insect. Adjusting my $30,000 suit, I stepped on stage. No specs.
Just a video.
An elderly woman requested water. A smart cup delivered it. A child spilled milk. The system guided them and alerted parents. My proposal isn't just smart, it's caring. 20 senior centers partnered. Child safety protocols in place. People want warmth, not just tech. I had optimized the plan to destroy Damien's. He had specs. I had empathy. Judges snapped photos. Signal received. Damien went pale, sweat forming. The winner, Ms. Jung, for user experience and social impact. Damien fainted. I paid extra to have Damien carried home. Sarah sobbed over his unconscious body. I appeared beside her. He fainted from anger. Satisfied, she spat.
See?
If you were half as capable, you'd respect yourself too. Wake him, or be buried with him. Sarah fumed. Damien woke, looking 10 years older. He sipped water Sarah offered and finally muttered the words. Let's get a divorce. You get the house. I take the car and kid. Finally. System. Time for the chasing husband arc. Refuse the divorce. Beg him. I hesitated. Could he actually refuse? But I followed the script. I called Julian over. We held hands beside Damien's bed. Damien glared like he wanted to crush us. Damien, I whispered. Can we not divorce? Hope flickered in his eyes. I leaned over and kissed Julian.
Smooch.
Crack. Sound of Damien's heart breaking. Please? Don't divorce me? Smooch. Get out. Damien threw a pillow. I walked out, dabbing fake tears.
See?
I begged, but he said no. System. Damien left. Signed divorce papers in hand. I cried. Oh, how I cried. In these stories, CEOs drown heartbreak in work.
Me?
I drown mine in champagne and pampering. I invited my girlfriends over and hired a team of impossibly attractive young men to give massages. Painkiller, body edition. Sister, you look sad. One said, eyes wide, flashing a mischievous little fawn. I gave my ex $1 million monthly allowance, cars, watches, and he bolted for his first love. I admit it, downing champagne. The boy pressed harder on my leg. He's blind. If a woman treated me like that, I'd worship her forever. His sincerity almost got to me. Almost. My friends were stifling giggles in the corner. Honey, I'm not naive. Money is for looking at, not for feeding men's egos. I'm the predator, not the prey. Damien's empire crumbled. Banks seized his offices, his trust fund drained to cover debts. Sarah, blissfully ignorant, thought she had won. They moved into the villa he bought for her. Half a month later, the staff were gone. Sarah assumed it was a test of her domestic prowess. She cooked, cleaned, played the perfect wife. Until she opened the fridge. Cheap apples replaced the imported mangoes. Reality hit her like a freight train. I spotted Damien outside a fancy club. Cheap suit, streaks of gray in his hair, trying to sell insurance. Broken. Sarah had discovered his bankruptcy, scratched his face, screamed, and evicted him and Leo. Now he was struggling to raise his son alone. Genevieve. Leo needs a proper education. Can we remarry? Give him a full family, he stammered. I laughed. Did you care about a full family when you were cheating? If you had saved the money you spent on Sarah for your son, we wouldn't be here. He flushed. I'm a CEO now. Mother is a tiny role in my life. Why would I remarry you for a child? Anger flared in him. You're so selfish. I glanced at my $1,500 Valentino heels. I'll cover his tuition. That's it. Don't expect more. Instead of begging me, maybe sue Sarah to get your gifts back. He muttered something and walked away, stumbling.
Sigh.
He lost money, status, his company, his house.
Me?
I lost a love that never deserved me, anyway.